do have the Farsa to provide them with that damage before that Claude really fully scales. World Challenger went for lane holders here. Either the Basher or the Cho can hold the lane alongside the Alice. So you can see that World Challenger wants that insurance really for the late game. But with the lineup that they have, potentially, they can still end it earlier than when the Claude hits the super late game where he's just fully item stacked.
Yeah, and I really like the Lancelot pickup. That kind of takes care of some of the threats that we have, like the Farsa. Although the Farsa has been also countering the Lancelot lately a lot. So it depends on who gets that that power spike first on itemization. Whether or not this Lancelot can scale early on is going to be the question for, of course, the Aether main, which is, again, I'm going to be super happy if I see a very good Eudora play, because I've been missing a lot of good Eudoras. And in the hands of Yuji Boy, one of the premier players of the Mage, also known as Mage Dad. Mage Dad Yuji.
I love how we considered it as an evolution from when he went from Mage God to Mage Dad Yuji.
Season 1 champion for MPL. And he's still got it, man. I gotta say, this guy really has been shaping this team to be a very, very good team. And again, on the other side, you got Work doing a lot to try to make a name for themselves as well. Consider, I would say they're more of a newer team, obviously, because I know that that Patrick Viray Esports has been together for quite a while now. They've been working at it non-stop and been together almost every day. So I have a lot of faith in the PVE right now. But again, right now, World Challenger is proving to be a very formidable opponent. I mean, that from what we've seen yesterday.
And you see here, Sherby's actually having a hard time. All the flicker rock hard.
Sharib. I'm gonna have to call him Sharib now. It's gonna get a pretty good amount of damage onto Jobert. Sakalam misses on the 4th rose, but still gets the first blood. Yuji's not done though. He wants to get something on the Chu. Try to force him to go back, but Michael Jordan with the layup straight into 2 targets with Van and Yuji. Still gonna be able to get a kill, but that's all they will get.
And Michael Jordan, since yesterday, has been a very consistent player for World Challenger. All of that started because Jobert got a little bit too greedy, thinking that he could get a kill there onto Sherby, not respecting the rotation. But at least World Challenger and Aether Main were both able to get a trade out of that, so no one has been able to build a considerable lead just yet.
Just yet, exactly. So we're going to have to find out if World Challenger can kind of recover from this. Although Michael Jordan, you saw that play, man. Flicker into 2 huge juggernauts. That's not an easy feat. Right now, they're going to be doing some more right here on the turtle. They're trying to try to see if they can contest this. Jobert Sakalam right behind, but not going to be able to take it away from Choco. Gets the turtle buff, and again, Lancelot with the turtle buff almost ensures that you have the early game.
And I like the discipline here of Sharib. Yeah, I'm really just going to stick with calling him Sharib now. With how he really just waited to use his Black Dragon form from when he saw when he sees Michael Jordan on the Feathered Airstrike, respecting his play, respecting what he showed yesterday, and respecting the damage and the effect the Farsa can have, especially in an objective take like that. I won't be surprised if we're not going to see that Black Dragon form this entire game until we see a Feathered Airstrike. Look
at that, a great knockdown, and they take down Michael Jordan. However, I don't want to say that name. I'm just kidding. It's a long one, so let's just call him Fi. I don't know how he wants it to be pronounced. But so far, Tigasin gonna be missing on, of course, Falling Star Moon with the Fi. Going hard onto Nav. Van's not going to be able to outlast the damage output from Chu.
Wow.
Double buff, but not going to be for long. Choco, try to see if someone was going to try to follow up, but not going to be happening anytime soon.
Right at the edge of the Blazing Duet, and Nav was just able to get away in time. Actually,
and gets the shield in.
And gets the shield in time as well. And you really needed that. You can't give any more kills here or you can't start giving kills to the Claude at this point in the game. Maybe if it was subpar 4 minutes, sure, but it's as the game goes longer, we know that you're going to be getting a lot of gold. So Aether Main knows it's inevitable the Claude's going to get a kill, but they're really just delaying it.
Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. That is how you play it. Right now, though, they're trying to dive in onto Michael Jordan might have been the bait. There were 4 people there that wasn't spotted out right away.
Yeah, and I think this is how World Challenger is going to approach this potential punish, as we see FY in the middle getting hounded onto. That's a 3 versus 1. And as I was saying, Sherby, yeah, I think you really saw the bad side of him tunnel visioning Michael Jordan all the time, getting baited out like that.
I think so too. Again, Michael Jordan not really scared to go for fights whenever you give him a chance. And again, the rest of the team is kind of working with it. For now, though, they are going to be securing this turtle once more, even preemptively using the Black Dragon form just to scout out and zone out and get that turtle 100%.
I found it really cute how we just saw the Black Dragon form just glide in there in the side as they were just
super random.
As they were taking the turtle. It was just like, hey guys, what's up?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I have my Black Dragon form.
I'm a bouncer. He's gonna bounce people, man.
Yeah.
And that's literally what's gonna happen. He's gonna bounce people, and if they bump into him, he's gonna stun up. So
how again? How again? Do they like that?
Yeah, you get stunned up, and right now it's going very, very well for, of course, our friends from Aether Main, and they look really, really informed today.
Yeah, it seems like again, this is a team with a lot of experience. Not all of them are experienced here in the MPL, but they're led by experienced players. Again, they have Yuji with them. They have Sagitno as well, a former player of Execration. So with that knowledge, I feel like with that leadership, just from watching and studying World Challenger from how they moved yesterday, you have veterans telling you, okay, this is what you have to watch out for. And right now, Aether Main, they're working like a close to near perfect seamless machine. Everything just seems to be, all the gears are turning really well for their team right now. The rotations are on point.
Everyone's doing their job.
Yeah, everyone's doing their job. I feel like one thing that, again, what we have to watch out for here and what Sherby has to be careful for is when he's going to be looking for that Farsa. Because it seems like World Challenger, with the past 2 engages where we've seen Sherby, they were sort of telling him, okay, you're going to look for a Farsa, maybe you'll get a kill, but we're going to make it hard for you, we're going to punish you for that.
Yep.
And either if we're not going to punish you, we're going to punish your team. So that's something that Aether Main, especially Sherby, now has to balance, because World Challenger, we can't count them out just yet. Although it seems like they've been causing a few errors individually as well. Of course, Jobert Sakalam in the beginning, a little bit too greedy in trying to get that kill, getting punished, but the rotation by Michael Jordan. So these 2 teams are somewhat level right now, but Aether Main is looking just a little bit cleaner and better.
A little bit better, a little bit cleaner. And again, Michael Jordan is trying to do a lot of hero plays, but again, that's not really usually going to work. So at this point, he's getting killed as well. And again, Van is doing a good job in picking him out. So I think Work has to be a little bit more careful here coming into this one. And again, their Alice is not really in an optimal position as well to really scale.
Yeah.
Because he's getting hunted down over and over again by both Tigasi and Yuji.
That's a blazing duet coming in right on to Yuji. Eats a full burst of it. Already picks up the DHS, did Chu. And Aether Main, they've respected that, okay, it might be a little bit too difficult for us to just try and focus down and give Chu a hard time specifically. So as you mentioned, Aether Main's actually been giving a hard time to other heroes that can empower this lineup, like this Alice.
Yeah, this Alice is going to be able to at least clear up the minion waves. Might get one, but Tigasi again will have that Frost Moon shield. For now, again, it is a little bit more even in my eyes, even though there is a pretty good lead in terms of gold for Aether Main here.
And this is a very, how do I say this, a textbook game that we're seeing from Aether Main right now. To continue the thought I was saying earlier, other than the Alice that they've been giving a hard time, they've been giving Michael Jordan a hard time as well. Again, these are the heroes that can really bring it to the mid to the late game where Chu will be activated. But now Aether Main has to find that balance. They need to get a kill onto Chu
not again.
because he's 2-0-1.
They can actually get a lot of kills here if they wanted to. But again, Michael Jordan with Chu waiting on the side. Jobert Sakalam actually ready to intercept if needed. But then, right now, Aether Main just trying to see if they can get more kills. That's what they're going for here.
So
but
close.
They're not being given any by Work.
And now World Challenger, we're seeing the discipline from them from controlling and deciding when to take team fights, respecting Aether Main's lineup right now and knowing that they really need to drag this game out.
Yep, and they are really trying to do that. Although, again, Aether Main trying to accelerate this even further with Chu and the great amount of damage being given by both the Farsa and the Claude. So Choco doesn't have a turtle buff as of yet, and it's probably going to be able to. It's going to take a bit of time before they can set up for it, so it might expire. So they're really forcing the issue. They're really trying to get that. Because again, you saw how efficient the Lancelot was becoming the moment you give him a turtle buff, and you know what? World Challenger, they know that they have to stop it as much as possible. So every time that Aethermane tries to go to turtle buff, World Challenger's just there challenging it over and over again.
Yeah, it's going to be hotly contested, all the major objectives before the Lord spawns. And, of course, when the Lord spawns as well. But I feel like World Challenger, or specifically Aethermane, they have to start re-strategizing a bit in terms of which heroes they decide to give a hard time to. They really need to get a pin down onto Claude at this point. Because Chu has just been, well, to give him all the praise, he's been really timing his entry super, super well.
Yeah.
Just when you think Aethermane is going to get away with a win in the team fight, suddenly he comes in, Blazing Duet, BMI out, or he'll be able to kite someone. And so that's what Aethermane now has to start adjusting to. They've adjusted really well to giving the Alice a hard time to scale. They've adjusted really well to giving the Pharsa a hard time to scale. But now Chu is starting to become a problem for them, and despite the great positioning and spacing out Aethermane is doing for their core heroes to help secure the Lord, or the major objectives, I mean, they really need to start putting in the work on Chu.
Yeah, and they're starting to really ignore that turtle right now because they want to go for the kill. And they're thinking maybe if we get that kill, maybe the turtle will be a lot easier to take. But like you mentioned, Chu is just getting a lot of free farm here. He's not getting hunted down. PVE is busy getting your own objectives to care too much about Chu. And that might be their downfall later on. We'll have to see if that's the case, because right now they want to go for the engage again.
Oh, wow.
And there you go. Chu with the killing spree once more, being given free reign, although the turtle will go over to PVE. It goes to the wrong hero. Van getting the turtle at least through the smart missiles. At least it's denied from World Challenger, but not really efficient at this point.
Yeah, but, I mean, they were able to get the gold anyway, and just to take it away.
That's pretty good.
We understand.
It's still team gold, right?
It's not the optimal decision.
But they didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, they didn't have a choice. Again, the World Challenger just keeps going and going at their face, just keeping the pressure going. Very difficult.
Yeah, exactly. And what we've been putting a lot of focus, or I've been putting a lot of focus onto Chu right now, but Choco is, again, just like Chu, hasn't been touched by World Challenger as much, and that's a touch onto the Alice right now, who gets tossed up. Here comes the feathered airstrike and the burst damage. Yuji able to secure a kill onto the Alice, and now Lancelot gets a secure a kill onto the Pharsa. Two mages are down, but now here comes Sherby trying to get away, Blazing the wet right at the tip. Oh, that was a hell of an exchange by Chu and the rest of the Aethermane squad.
Man, that's basically like them fencing right now. Blazing Duet straight into a big knockup from Sharif. Again, he's not afraid to go straight into enemy territory as long as his teammate is around. That's how much trust PVE has with each other.
And Aethermane, I still can't. It's still really difficult to call this game right now. It is a 2k gold lead for Aethermane, but at this point, it's not going to be that much to worry about. I guess if someone goes down here, or if someone goes down for this Lord take, the next few kills are what's going to decide the momentum for the next few minutes of the match. Absolutely.
Again, you got to look at Choco. You got to look at Tigasin, who's also charging up the Falling Star Moon. They probably won't be able to take out FY. But for now, they are going to stave him off or push him off and force him to regen, so that this Lord setup was going to be a little bit easier.
And now, both of these two teams have great split pushing heroes, so we might actually start seeing more of like a 1-3-1-esque rotation being forced out depending on how the side lanes are being handled. Michael Jordan needs to really start being careful now with his positioning, because he's falling from behind, and Jobert was not careful.
Man, if that guy was stunned up, that ultimate from Yuji would have made a mark. Right now, though, we still have some pretty good fight coming in from World Challenger, and they seem to be still going at it. Right now, though, Chu definitely going to be out of commission. He's going to try to see if he can go for chase, though. Again, one more hit could take down the Claude, but he does not care. Michael Jordan and Jobert Takala trying to go for the kills, and again, Yuji doesn't have the ultimate yet, but Falling Star will go over to Michael Jordan, and he goes down. Tigasin gonna be able
Oh,
to
the
exchange
stun!
real quick. The stun's coming in. Sharif with a knock-up. Gonna be able to allow him to escape, but Chu's right on his tail. Yuji can get a kill.
Wow!
Under tower, they're fighting. No fear at all from Work. Austere force a trouble kill from the Alice.
What a counter punch by World Challenger. A hell of an extended team fight, but what we thought to be a really good start by Aether Main. Michael Jordan went down really low before the fight started, eventually got taken out there near the end. But then the response by World Challenger. Again, I like how Aether Main handled that, where when they immediately lost, I believe it was their Lancelot that went down first. They decided to back off, recover, and they saw that they could potentially still get a pick off or still challenge the positioning of World Challenger around the Lord pit, which they needed to do because they needed to buy time for the Lancelot to respond, and then they can go for the proper contest onto the Lord. But then they got picked off the... How do I say this? The bravery of World Challenger to decide, you know what, we're gonna entry this, we're gonna force this fight. They don't have their carry, their cooldown, some of them are still not yet back yet. Let's take this fight, and they did, and it worked out really well. The Alice play, and then as well as Jobert's entry with being able to get knockups and pickoffs with that Cho. It was a great response overall by Workouster Force.
Yeah, they really showed up, and they really had no fear. They were fighting under tower.
Yeah.
for 30 seconds or more, they were absorbing tower hits, and they didn't care. They were juggling it very efficiently. And coming back into this one, Chu's going to be able to take out that pesky tower, which basically chunked out their lineup. But they were able to do some serious damage as well to Patrick Virai Esports.
And right, I told you, Rockhard, whoever gets the next few kills right before that fight happened could decide the tempo of the matchup. And now World Challenger, yes, it's still neck and neck in the gold. That's the great news here for Aether Main. But in terms of who was able to get a little bit more map control after that exchange, definitely that's World Challenger. But Aether Main, they need to play this next 2 minutes right, because if they mess up here, if they give up positioning elsewhere a little bit too early, World Challenger are just gonna take it home and take that close control that Aether Main has in this game.
Yep, that's a very good possibility right now, though.
Great response.
Just as they were saying that, a quick answer from Aether Main coming out strong from a bush. Maybe World Challenger didn't expect that to happen. Jobert Scalp tries to pick in Tigasin, but of course that will be behind enemy lines way too deep.
Way too
and
deep.
The rest of the squad, the cavalry, could not arrive in time.
And now we're going to be met up at a stalemate. But look at Choco.
Choco, man.
So close.
This guy's
almost
mad.
skewering that bird.
This guy is mad, and he is out for blood. And I would not be surprised to see Work actually just kind of slow it down a little bit, because they might be biting off more they can chew. Well, to be fair, that same thing is happening on Patrick Virai Esports, but again, they seem to be happy with the trades they're doing right now.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate that ended up a 1-for-1 trade, because again, as I said, that was a beautiful pickoff again.
Whoa! What?
Van trying it out. Good sense, way too close, but...
Literally reading each other's minds, man.
Yeah, World Challenger need to watch out for Van here, who I think has gotten a lot of new fans after what he did with his Atlas play yesterday. Aether Main, I like what that main rotation is doing. Now it's just going to be up to Tigasin to follow up with the Falling Star Moon and the entry. This could be a really big fight for the Lord, but the split pushes from World Challenger in the side lanes is something Aether has to worry about.
Jobert Sakala might do something here. They're sacrificing FY, but they're fighting underneath their a very massive amount of blazing duets.
Wow.
He just absorbs it, and Michael Jordan still survives. Top lane, of course, will still be taken care of here by Jobert Sakalam. They did the job, they got some gold, and now they can position themselves around the Lord.
Van will be getting the info, but there's no Lancelot and no retribution here for Aether Main. It's going to be hard for them to really contest this. It's going to be a really lucky last set if ever. That's going to be a forced reset here by Chu, who's getting annoyed by Shirby right now. Sukuna on that Alice as well is there to space it out. And again, another stalemate for an objective. But World Challenger have the time to take down this Lord. There's only 8 seconds until Lancelot spawns here for Aether Main. They will not be able to make it in time.
Yeah, there's no way that they can arrive in time, even with the Black Dragon form. Which again, they won't try to contest without Choco. Because fighting it without Choco just seems a little bit pointless, because they might just sacrifice more if they do. So they will give over the Lord, and they will have to wait until they can clear it before they can initiate another fight.
Yeah, and the problem with Aether main right now is understandable because they wanted to look for an advantage for that Lord take, for that Lord positioning. But because they were always trying to get pickoffs, twice we saw Van use the flicker to get past that wall there in that middle portion of the map where Michael Jordan and FY stay to potentially get a pickoff and burst. But they gave up so much side lane control here, and that's potentially what will punish Aether main hard into this part of the match.
Again, UG just proving to us that Eudora, once played properly, can really do some serious damage, and they did. Great pickup there from FY. That's 4v5. Even though there is a Lord, I don't think there's going to be a big push happening anytime soon.
Lord is getting bursted down here, but that's going to be the feathered airstrike committed by World Challenger. And again, they're just managing the waves, trying to break a tower, but I don't think they'll be able to because now they're really low, and Aether main has now been able to position really well for a defense.
Yep, and this is exactly what you want to do if you're Aether main. Just slow him down and try to see if you can take out a target one by one. Taking out FY actually basically disabled Chu. There's no way that Chu can activate a Blazing Duet without FY close by, making sure that he doesn't go down right away. Basically what FY does is to dive in on the Chu with Michael Jordan and allows them to actually activate their big Juker skills.
Yeah, and that's a stun, and that's a problem!
Jolbert put to half HP with just a few skills there. Proves the amount of damage output that PVE can actually output in this game.
Yeah, and I think Aether main, we're going to start seeing Yuji try to conserve that Electro Arrow a little bit more to wait for Chu's entry. I feel like once he can just get a really solid stun onto that Claude, he'll be able to punish and burst down Chu enough that he's gonna think twice about continuing fighting, continuing to go in with the Blazing Duet. And Aether main, we can expect them to punish that if ever they get to catch out Chu. Choco's been caught out twice here now, 5-2 and 6, but they still have not gotten a kill here on Chu. The good thing for Aether main here, though, is that's going to be such a massive swing for them once they get a kill on that Claude. And Aether main, that's just going to open up all the possibilities for them to turn around the team fight and potentially win it. The question is, hopefully Aether main will have enough damage to out-sustain the sustain here of World Challenger, because, again, that Alice could be right after Chu, right after that Farsa, could be the next big problem here for Aether main.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult as well for them to spot out Chu. So Chu is trying, basically just stopping PVE from going hard on anyone.
Yeah.
If they go for a collapse, there's always a potential for punish. With the Claude, almost like 4 items or 5 items, I think. So that's something that they have to always watch out for, which is also the reason why, you know, Aether main is playing a little bit more passive right now. Yeah,
and I like how Yuji, we just saw him pick up the Divine Glaive right now. It's really going to help out Aether main in bursting down the front line.
Yeah.
He needs it. He's going to be that next big source of damage to take down FY and Sukuna.
Right now, speaking of Sukuna, they're going to get that purple buff. That's a big deal, considering that, you know, the Lancelot really needs that buff as well for the cooldown reduction. It's going to be an uphill climb for sure with the defense. And Patrick Vira Esports, Aether main, are going to have to do quite a lot of work to make sure that they can get back map control.
Yeah, and it's going to be really hard to do that because they're up against... Man, look at the 4-man. Just take out the Claude. That's a really strong lineup there for map control. You have the Alice, the Baxter, the Farsa, and the Cho as well. And World Challenger, I won't be surprised if they're just going to continue what they're doing right now. Give up that positioning in the Lord. Go for the split push. Maybe take it all the way. Or just split push, and then now Aether main's going to think, oh no, the minion waves are going to crash in. We're going to lose inhibitors. We might even lose this game if the minion waves crash in deep enough. Aether main... Sad to say is this is a losing battle for them at this point of the game because of the nature of the lineup they're against.
Look at this. Ban actually could have gotten Jobert probably, but again, Jobert just very aware of the positioning of the rest of Aether main. Now this Lord is very close to done. Cancel out on the feathered airstrike is great, but Lord will go over to work. And now it's going to be a big blown out team fight. Is there a Blazing Duet yet? I don't think so. Chu's just going for the normal attacks. Blazing Duet will go down. Finally, Van will absorb a lot of it, but somehow Shoko is still alive, but not for long. He's going to be taken out real quick there. And that's 2 and 3 going down for PVE. Followed shortly by Sharib and Yuji all alone in the base.
Ooh,
that could be
wipeout.
That's a wipeout, and that will pin absolutely poor work right there. World Challenger 1-0 so far in this series.
And that is a game. Really good one of that to start off the day. 8th remaining World Challenger showing the best of the best. These are two teams that with a lot of hype of them around them. Again, favored to make it actually into Season 7. But it was a losing battle once it got past 15 minutes for Aether Main because, again, the nature of the lineup they're against. Don't get me wrong, they played the game really, really well. In the beginning, they were doing what they needed to do.